Now, right behind them, running in third spot, is Jimmy Johnson. Remember, the early leader of the race, but maybe a little concern for that 48 right now, Brad.
Yeah, he's just off the pace just a little bit. The car's very loose. You look at the front of that race car, it has picked up a ton of debris. Something's clogging up that radiator opening there, so he's got to get that debris off the front of that race car or it's going to run hot, and it does affect the handling as well.
Chad Knaus keeping an eye on things, and we'll have to have his driver keep an eye on those engine temperatures as well. Now, biggest chargers early in the race were Jeff Gordon and Denny Hamlin. Gordon started 36th, Hamlin started 33rd. They moved up and were racing together a few laps ago when this happened. Watch the 24 car.
Boy, look at the 24. He's very, very loose right now. See the rear end kick out. Denny Hamlin almost gets into him.
A.J. Allmendinger takes advantage and scoots on by.
So Jeff Gordon running back in 19th spot, kind of stalled out for now, and Denny Hamlin is running in 16th. Meanwhile, up front, it is Harvick stalking and tracking Greg Biffle to try and get the race lead. While we watch that, we also want to update you on Mark Martin, one of the bubble guys in the race to the chase. Remember, Mark was on pit road under green at lap 31 from 25th position. And then the caution came out. He took a wave around. He's trying to work his way back. Vince, what are they saying about this 5 car?
Boy, it's been an adventurous day for Mark Martin. He made wall contact early. The car was very tight. They came in on that pit stop and they went up 3 rounds on the track bar. They made an air pressure adjustment, and Mark reports that the car is even tighter than it was on that initial run. And for a team that was on the bubble coming in, and crew chief Alan Gustafson told me earlier today, they felt like they were on an upswing. They really thought they had something to work with today. It's been a nightmare so far for the 5 of Mark Martin.
And Mark right now 32nd on the racetrack. In fact, now 33rd, 28 seconds behind the race leader. And another guy he's going to have to watch out for is Ryan Newman, because Newman, he's putting pressure. Notice how the points start shaking out. Martin right now 72 behind, and Newman 98 behind, so only 16 separating those two. So still a lot of things that can develop, but that battle for that all-important last spot gets oh so dicey these last 4 races.
It does, but you know, the biggest thing is that they all have to look at is Clint Boyer doing his job up in the 7th spot right now. Very solid. If they don't have any issues, then they're going to have a hard time catching him.
Let's go back to the race lead, and there you see Greg Biffle. He has now led 42 laps here. We've had 3 leaders, as Alan mentioned, 4 total lead changes. Harvick right behind him by 0.2 of a second. Then it's 4.4 seconds back to Jimmy Johnson. Martin Truex back in 4th. Tony Stewart rounds out the top 5.
Yeah, as we saw right there, Kevin Harvick had literally run up to the back bumper of Greg Biffle. And I was talking to Jeff Gordon the other day, and he told me something very interesting about the aero of these cars. He said, you know, they've got these splitters down on the ground so much. When you get close to a car, not only is that car in front of you making a big hole in the air, but nothing's coming from underneath the race car. You're not getting any air there if you're that second car in line. So you're getting no air to the front end, and that's what makes it so difficult. You might run up and catch a guy in a hurry, but getting by him's another story.
Let's check back a little bit further. Remember when Jeff Burton came out in 12th position after a very slow pit stop? He has worked his way back up to 8th. Let's listen in on the radio.
I am not going to pass the same cars all day long. Y'all got to get it together, get your deal done, okay? We're all in this together, but we got to have each other doing our job.
Well, that's the frustration from Jeff Burton. His car's actually been running good, but as you heard, he's tired of seeing the same guys as he goes by. He ran well here in June, finished 8th, but this hasn't been one of Burton's better tracks. They hope to have a better day today. Now we've got a caution on the track. We're starting to get a little sprinkles down here, guys.
And I'm looking skyward, and you'd be hard-pressed to say any of these are rain clouds. So I can't believe that this is going to be a long, drawn-out caution. But it is our second caution of the day here on lap number 60 of 200.
It seems like the weather always comes from behind us here in the booth, though, so we can't see it. Looks like just a small shower just kind of passing through.
Back just in time for the green flag. Greg Biffle on the high side, Harvick underneath him. Johnson and Kyle Busch right behind as they head for turn 1. If you're looking in that top 12 mix for the 99 where he came in, he got blocked during that round of pit stops, also stalled the car momentarily, dropped 12 spots, restarted 24th, so he's back in the middle of the field. Jimmy Johnson on the inside now, going into 3 underneath Kyle Busch. Tony Stewart wants to follow.
Yeah, Kyle Busch trying to make the most of what his pit crew did for him, getting him out. So he's trying to go for that second spot with Harvick.
Kyle Busch with only 2 top 10 finishes in his last 8 starts. And look at the 3 wide behind, and that's Montoya on the inside. In the middle is Burton, Truex on the high side.
Now the draft really comes into play on this racetrack, in particular with these cars, especially as you get down toward the end of the straightaway. You have 2 cars running side by side. Say, saw Montoya take advantage of that and go by them.
Harvick got a good run off the corner down the straightaway. He goes past and falls right behind Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch's car looks great. You know, I just mentioned a while ago that him and Denny Hamlin switched cars in practice. They were so bad they didn't really know where to go, so they switched cars. The drivers did and tried to work out some issues. Looks like it worked for the 18 team.
Dave, you've got more?
And Andy, that was one of the reasons why they went there. The other crew chief Dave Rogers told me was because they wanted to learn about their drivers' communication. Between Denny and Kyle, they do things very differently. Denny's more of a fractions guy. Kyle's more of a whole number guy. So when you have like a 1 tight, Kyle is like, he's 1 tight, and Denny's like, I'm 1/8 tight. So they got their communication down so that all the data they get, maybe even bump drafting, they can use for both cars. And that's one of the reasons why they did it. They said they've been wanting to do it for a long time. Saturday morning was their opportunity.
Bad news for Martin Truex. Don't know if he's got a problem, but a couple of cars went past him. He's fallen back to 14th position there. You see there's Rudiman and Ryan Newman right in front of him. Maybe he just got a little loose a little bit further. We were looking out the window. And there's Jeff Gordon trying to work his way back up. And on the right side, look at Tony Stewart.
Well, that was a 3-way pass right there because Kyle Busch was leading this group. And then Tony Stewart comes and takes these 2 spots away.
See Gordon on the left side of your screen trying to make his way forward after his pit stop wasn't quite up to par for those guys. Truex, I think, just his car just isn't liking this set of tires. Whether they made the adjustments or not, we'll have to check on. But you get yourself in a big group on these restarts, and if you're off just a little bit, it really magnifies that problem that you might have.
Whoa, look out for Joey Logano. It looked like he had contact with a 98 of Menard. They make the save, and here comes Carl Edwards trying to streak his way back after that faulty pit stop. Edwards gets around all 3 of those cars, including the 88 of Dale Jr. And look at Jr. trying to sneak between and gets past both Paul Menard and Joey Logano.
Yeah, Jr. had some big hopes coming into this race this weekend here. He had a good finish back earlier in the year and was really looking forward, but didn't have the pit stop to show, or didn't have the qualifying effort to make it work. So he's having to battle his way back as we see Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick going at Harvick might have got in the wall just a little right there.
Looked like I saw a black mark on the wall that was left by that 29.
Well, and the interesting thing is, I mean, we're only at lap 72, and these guys are racing like there's only 10 to go. While all this is going on, let's go back again to this group because these guys are going 3 and 4 wide. What's going on with Martin Truex, Doc?
He said he had a bobble a moment ago, and he thought what DJ was talking about, maybe low air pressure, but the car now just continues to get looser and looser and looser, more so than anything he's had all day long. So he said, I got a tire going down. I got to get on pit road. I must have one going down. I'm not sure where, though, guys. They're going to come in and probably change all 4.
Well, he's back to 19th. He restarted in 9th, so he's dropped 10 spots.
I really see him not, and he's been not driving into the corner extremely hard, utilizing that high line, but he's really backing off early now. So he must be extremely loose, thinking it may have a rear tire going down.
Get a few of it here from Joey Logano's on board. Meanwhile, here comes the Harvick-Stewart show one more time as Harvick gets back in front of Tony. They are now 0.8 of a second behind race leader Greg Biffle. Biffle has now led 55 of our 72 laps that we've completed.
Well, Biffle's just been so impressive because he's able to take off on the restarts and get himself out there, but his car doesn't fall off. See Stewart once again trying to take over that 2nd spot.
How about Jeff Gordon? He's in 11th spot after that restart.
He restarted 20th. He's picked up 9 of those spots, and the car is liking whatever change they made this time.
Either that or just mad. He's driving hard, though.
Well, Tony Stewart's giving himself some open air on the right side of your screen over Harvick. And there's the long shot down the straightaway. It gives you an idea of the separation between 1st and 2nd. Let's get more on Harvick, who's in 3rd. Doc?
Well, again, the same thing we saw from Truex a moment ago. Kevin Harvick said the car just jumped sideways. He yelled to the pits, guys, I think I might have a flat tire or a tire going down. And he said, hold up, as they started putting helmets back on pit road and getting ready to bring him in. And now Kevin says, hang on, I might be okay, but be ready. So even our points leader not immune to situations here early on. Possible tire concern.
Well, as you finish up, Jimmy Johnson takes a dive to the low side of the